You know, guys, I am tired. I continue to get more and more tired as I cover the gaming industry and cover all the personalities that are within the gaming industry. But you know what? We gotta love it, because at the end of the day, everybody is allowed to have their own opinion. Everybody is allowed to speak whatever it is they want to speak and to get their grievances out there. Whether you actually like a game or not, if you want to support the video game, if you want to hate on the video game, you by all means have every right to do so. But there seems to be a very odd little subsector of the gaming community that wants to tell people what to do. They want to tell people how to think. They wants to stop conversation from happening. And then when conversation doesn't stop happening, they want to start labeling people to be grifters, to be whatever, because quite simply, they just don't like the fact that somebody disagreed with their particular ideology, whatever that may be, for a particular video game. Now, this seems to be more egregious as time goes on, because with the death of the mainstream gaming industry and the mainstream gaming media, there is the rise of none other than the shill YouTuber. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are people that either don't have access and are desperately seeking it, or they are people that do have access and are desperately trying to keep it. Regardless of whatever it may be, you're going to have people out there that just desperately want to be the person that they claim others are grifters, right? They'll never admit it, but they'll sit there and call the people who actually play video games and actually stick by what they say to be grifters. And meanwhile, these people that shill for certain video games will end up playing the video game for only a couple of days, only to eventually drop it and never be seen playing it again. But they want to convince you to trust them that they loved the game so much. Today's video, we're going to be diving a little bit into a particular video that is attacking certain grifters within the gaming sphere and discuss whether or not these people are actually grifters, what the word actually means, and whether or not this person has any weight to their argument whatsoever. So hit that like button, subscribe button, all that good YouTube algorithm nonsense. Let's get into the video about those dirty YouTube grifters. So talking about this video is something, you know, we get called grifters all the time. I mean, let's be real. At this point, if you're not getting called a grifter at least once a day, you're probably doing YouTube wrong. Now, the beautiful thing is about this is that we get to look into his arguments and see exactly what's going on. Now, I'm going to link this video in the description box below, because of course I want to make sure he gets his credit and gets his views from the people who watch my video who may agree with him. And you're more than willing to agree with his sentiments if you want. That's perfectly fine. I'm just trying to spark a conversation surrounding the claims of grifter and how, quite frankly, the word is ridiculous. It is overused. It never gets used properly, and it only gets thrown at people that these people just don't like. That's really what it is. You just don't like the people that you're talking about. You just don't like the arguments that they make. You claim that they're grifters, even though you have no proof of them not believing what they are saying, which is inherently, you know, important to being a grifter. And ultimately, it just comes down to, I wish I was you. That's how I take it. But again, we're going to check out this video. So the YouTuber is named TonyCeno, and I originally saw a clip of this from Asmongold. So shout out to Asmongold for showcasing this clip to me. It made me want to look into this and see exactly what is going on with this YouTuber. What is he talking about? So the only way we can do that is by checking out the video. So let's start it. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Have you ever been so excited for an upcoming brand new video game just to be disappointed and let down again when it turns out the main character is a woman? No?
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the hilarious thing is the claim you're normal because you don't actually notice patterns, or you don't look into why maybe these studios would make a certain decision that just seems a little bit crazy, right? Ghost of Yotei is probably the best example of this, because to have an amazing character like Jin Sakai with a storyline that absolutely could have continued regardless of whatever the cope is, like his story is finished. You absolutely could have continued his story, but for some reason you chose not to. There's nothing wrong with questioning why that is. There's nothing wrong with looking at that and saying, that's a weird business decision. Why would you do that? There's nothing wrong with that. But it seems like for people like this, there's something wrong with that, on top of other video games that have made very similar decisions, and they're going to claim that they're normal ones. Okay, well, we're going to see exactly how normal this guy actually is as we dive further into the video. But let's check this out.
You haven't? Well, congratulations, dog. You're normal. Grifters are completely ruining gaming. And that might sound dramatic or like I'm giving them too much credit, but they legit actually have enough dumbasses listening to the words they're saying.
So one thing that these people tend to do is they will automatically go and attack the audience, which I don't understand why they do that. Do you think you have a collective like amount of viewers that are just what, intellectuals, that only intellectual, extremely intelligent people watch your content and the other retards in the world watch everybody else's content? Are you really that narcissistic that you think that your particular fan base is just the smartest people in the world because they listen to you? Who made you the arbiter of intelligence? Because as we're going to find out very soon, I don't really think that's the case. So they'll attack the fans. Unironically, by the way, the same thing the corporates do. They'll attack the fans. They'll blame you for listening to people like me or people like Vara or other people he's about to mention in this video. I just find it very, very interesting.
Point where it actually has a detrimental effect on gaming. But let's take a step back real quick, because some of you might not even know what the hell I'm talking about. To understand how we got to where we are in gaming,
So we don't know, some of us won't know what the hell you're talking about, and yet you mean to tell me we're supposed to have all this influence to ruin the conversation around gaming? I love the fact that you're willing to blame the people having conversations around gaming that have been having conversations for decades, but you won't blame the studios that are actually being stupid in their decisions, both in business practice, in story practice, and damn near everything at this point, especially when we're talking about AAA. You won't tell them that they're doing bad. You won't say that they're ruining the gaming discourse, and yet for some reason it's our fault. It's our fault because we're the ones that are talking about things that you don't want us to talk about.
Need to understand what a grifter is. The definition of grifter that I like the most is petty swindler, and
it doesn't matter what definition of grifter you like the most. The only definition is the one that is the definition. So again, these people, they use the word grifter and they're like, well, grifter to me means, no, grifter to you means absolutely fuck all. It's what the actual definition of the word grifter is, which you are swindling people out of money for things that you don't actually believe in or support in any capacity whatsoever. You're a swindler, right? You can say, well, my favorite is petty swindler. No, it's only whatever the actual definition is. So for somebody to be a grifter that you're about to claim that other people are, like Vara, for example, you would have to be able to prove that she does not believe a single thing that she's saying, and she's only saying it to make money. But I guarantee you, I would bet money on it, you provide zero proof of that whatsoever in this video.
Can't lie, I can't think of a better description, because that's what these little trolls do, bro. They just fucking they create issues out of literally thin air, Houdini, and then they convince you that you should be mad about said made-up issue.
So I like this. So you're saying that these people will just make up things out of thin air to be mad about and then convince you, for monetary gain, by the way, that you should be angry too. So basically their negative content is a problem, or what you deem to be their negative content is a problem. That's great. You know, listen, sometimes we do need people that are toxically positive so we can have a little bit of a counter to the conversation as a whole. So let me go through your channel and make sure that all of this is toxically positive like it should be, because if there's negative content here, I gotta be honest with you, you just described that as grifting. That's going to be quite unfortunate if you have negative content here. Oh, wow, that is problematic. So your most viewed video has to do with Black Ops 7 being a new low for Call of Duty and how essentially the game is complete ass. The next video right after that is Xbox fanboys are delusional, basically doing the whole console war thing in 2025, and then the one after that is the one that ended up blowing up with Asmongold, which are grifters are ruining gaming. Wow, 3 negative perception videos on the top of your homepage here. Scrolling down, you even have we are watching the downfall of Xbox. That's interesting. That doesn't sound too positive. And then you have the sorry state of DC games with a thumbnail that literally just says ass on it. That's actually amazing, to be honest with you. Then you have playing Mind's Eye destroyed my sanity because the game is trash in your thumbnail. You have I tried the GTA 6 killer in your video with the thumbnail that says it sucks. So to me, it looks like you finally decided to join the supposed hate train that you like talking about so much. You have a bunch of negative videos here. Why are you not a grifter? Why isn't anybody allowed to call you a grifter, considering that you're console warring in 2025? You're attacking people for having a difference of opinion, and you're also attacking one of the more popular video game franchises in history, which, by the way, we all did too because the game was absolute trash. So you mean to tell me that for some reason your opinions are valid but other people's opinions are not because of reasons, right? Whatever that reason may be. You never actually have the reason because you don't actually have proof of anything other than these people are saying things that I don't like, thus they are grifting. Well, guess what, my man? You are grifting as well. Congratulations.
We see this in a lot of places. Politics is one of the biggest ones, but gaming is among the absolute worst. And it's hilarious because besides YouTube, there's really only one platform that these people really like to congregate on. You go on Instagram, TikTok, some shit like that, there's gonna be normal conversations being held about gaming. Just some normal people for the love of the game, maybe a couple of debates, some shit like that. Everything changes when you open twitter.com.
The reason for that is because Twitter.com, aka X, is the most open platform that we have to actually socially congregate on. Every other platform, Genius, that you mentioned, Instagram, heavily censored, although they did roll it back a little bit in comparison to how it was when the Democrats were in power. But still, Instagram is still heavily censored. TikTok is still heavily censored. If there are certain things you even come anywhere close to mentioning, they're going to immediately shut it down, deboost it, or even take it down for community guideline violations. It is one of the most open platforms, X, by far, that allows the discussion of both people like you and people like me to congregate and have social discussion around whatever topics we may want to talk about, which is gaming. That's what we're going to talk about. But for some reason, again, our part of the conversation, well, that's grifting. Your part of the conversation, even with the negative stuff, well, that's just you being you. Very interesting stuff.
I'm not calling that shit X, gang. We should have never allowed people to get paid from engagement on their tweets on Twitter. That shit has been the most...
Why not? You're getting paid for the views on your YouTube videos where you're posting negative content about people you don't like in video games that you hate and calling them trash. So why can't people get paid to do the same thing on X? Why? Because you disagree with them? Why is it always about money? You're going to very slowly learn throughout this video that money seems to be on the forefront of this person's mind. So much so that he mentions it many, many times. Let's continue.
Detrimental thing to society since crack hit in the 80s. And then to add fuel to the fire, we got this whole rage bait culture going on now. Because you can say some shit that you know is completely false and then turn around and hide behind, bro, you fell for the rage bait. Fuck! Let me give you guys a couple examples of what
says the guy that's participating in rage bait on his YouTube channel. Again, if you're going to call other people grifters for having certain takes and they have to be based around negativity surrounding a video game, then you being negative around a video game as well should automatically qualify you to be a grifter under your own definitions and your own terms, because you simplify the term so much in order to cast the widest net so that you can possibly try to catch these people as grifters. But the funny thing is, when you cast that wide net, if that same wide net was thrown at you, well, we'll easily be able to capture something. That's just kind of how this goes.
We're talking about here. Take the Wolverine game coming out for PlayStation 5. You guys remember the Wolverine reveal just a couple of weeks ago, right? Showed Wolverine, Mystique, the combat, some of the story, the graphics look good. I mean, shit. Nope. It ain't good enough for these losers. For a group of people that can't even stand it when a woman is the lead character in the game, you would think that a Wolverine video game would be their cup of tea. You'd think that would be exactly what they need. Nah.
How can you say that this group of people do not like it when a woman is a lead in the video game when you literally just quote tweeted a woman talking about a woman in a video game? You mean to tell me that Vara Dark doesn't want to see women in video games as a woman? Is this the logic that you're trying to pass off right now? You're also talking to the same people that just made Stellar Blade the #1 PlayStation 5 exclusive game to release on PC in history, beating out every single established franchise like Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Basically everything that's come out as a PlayStation mascot has been completely felted by a video game with a lead female character, and yet you're over here trying to claim that the supposed grifters just don't like females as the main lead. Do you even hear yourself when you're talking about things like this, or you just can't think 5 seconds past your face? Like, what's going on here?
Bro, they're mad about the woman that is in the game. These people are mad that the X-Men Mystique, the blue shape-shifting mutant, is not sexy enough for them. Okay, I hear y'all. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Bro, they're out here talking about DEI Mystique. What the hell does that even mean? It's
how are you falling for the memes, bro? You are literally looking at the memes and you're trying to take it as something serious. At the end of the day, Mystique is butt fucking ugly. I'm sorry, she is. She is ugly as shit. There is nothing wrong with stating that she is ugly, and people, like, I don't understand why you lose your mind over that. Like, if she is objectively ugly, then that is the person's right to say that. If you think she's beautiful and you want to bang that, then by all means, go for it. But, well, you know, I don't understand why your thought process is the one that should be allowed and other people's thought process is not allowed because you disagree with it. Who made you the fucking arbiter of what's allowed and what's not allowed in terms of overall discussion happening on the internet?
At the point now, they just throw around whatever buzzword they want to, bro. This shit makes no sense.
Says the guy throwing around the buzzword grifter. You're throwing around buzzwords left and right. I guarantee you use other buzzwords that you haven't even used in this video, considering the way that you talk. If you're going to go around throwing around a buzzword like grifter and misusing it extensively, and then you're going to get mad in the same sentence of other people throwing around buzzwords like woke and DEI and all that shit, these terms are utilized to describe something that people are trying to describe to the best of their ability, but there is no real way to describe the absolute uglification of certain characters in video games. It's an absolute truth. You can clearly see it as night and day, especially when comparing Eastern content to Western content. But the truth is that the word grifter is an actual real word and has a real meaning behind it. So for you to be misusing it in a way like this just goes to show that you either don't know the meaning or you know the meaning and you're trying to misrepresent it so that you could label these people as swindlers. It's an amazing thing, to be honest with you.
Dog, the attractiveness of a character does not impact the gameplay at all. Why?
Nobody said that it did, but it sure makes it a hell of a lot more interesting to play, and it makes it a hell of a lot more attractive to get into right from the get-go.
Why do we give a damn about the side characters' looks right now? On top of that, this shit is the most ironic thing ever.
I like how you call her a side character, but you haven't actually seen the gameplay to know whether or not she has missions or not. So how do you know she's a side character? Why? Because the game's called Wolverine? So what? Look at Alan Wake. The game was called Alan Wake. Meanwhile, he was only half of the missions, and the other half belonged to another character. But it was still called Alan Wake. It wasn't called Alan Wake and the female FBI agent.
Have y'all seen Mystique in any other media besides Jennifer Lawrence Mystique? Besides her, hold on now. But have y'all seen Mystique in any other like cartoon or any other appearance? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. She's mega chopped! Like dead ass, bro. Ironic.
I like how he selects certain Mystiques that are ugly throughout history, but he ignores the completely beautiful, hot fucking Mystiques that have been shown in media prior. I love this. I love this selective like mindset. The person who likes to say that we're selective and we complain about literally nothing and just make things up is literally here choosing to only select a Mystique that is ugly as fuck and completely ignoring all the beautiful Mystiques that I'm about to show on screen right now in this video.
This is one of the best looking appearances of Mystique. She looks good. Listen.
Does anybody actually believe him when he says that she looks good? Does anybody believe this guy who is chasing a snow bunny like Jennifer Lawrence that is going to say, you know what, instead of Jennifer Lawrence, I'm going to have this Mystique. Yeah, I'm going to have this flat Mystique with this massive jaw that looks like she chews on rocks. Yeah, I love this. This is what I want. Forget Jennifer Lawrence. I'm good. Sydney Sweetie who? Yeah, no, I'm good. I want this Mystique. Give me this man-steak right here. Hell yeah, baby.
I'm cracking. But okay, cool. They don't like Mystique. Whatever. BEI Mystique. They love manly men in their video games, right? So Wolverine, at the very least, being the main character and the main focus about this game, that should be enough for them to not be complaining too much.
Bro, this guy is literally quote tweeting Yorch Torch games. Oh my god, man. Like, Yorch Torch games, I have him blocked for a reason because he's a literal troll account, my guy. This is what they do. They take the most extreme out of any community and try to make it the norm. When the funny thing is that Yorch Torch has been called out by people like myself and other people that I particularly know for the bullshit that he spews on X. And you're trying to take this and trying to apply the same level of Yorch Torch to people like Vara Dark. Are you serious right now? It's absolutely insane, man. Although if you watch the rest of this video, which we are going to, you're going to realize he has a bit of a hard-on for Vara Dark. I don't know if this is like internalized lust or something like that. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, bro. This Wolverine is a soy boy to them. This Wolverine.
The trouble just has a way of...
I thought Wolverine looked cool, by the way. You can see my reaction to the trailer. I thought Wolverine looked pretty cool. I love the suit. I'm glad they went with a yellow suit, or at least have the yellow suit. And overall, I think he's a little bit too tall, personally. But I do like the bloodiness. I do like the dismemberment. And I'm hoping that the gameplay has dismemberment because that would be pretty cool to experience. So, yeah, I didn't have any problems with the Wolverine trailer, aside from Mystique being butt fucking ugly. Which, again, two things can be true. Wolverine can look cool here in this trailer, and Mystique can still be butt fucking ugly.
Isn't Wolverine enough for these people? Dog, it gets to it. What are we talking about? I'm watching this man turn people into Anakin Skywalker, bro. Leaping at people with max ferocity. This man is about homicide right now. And it's not enough for y'all? This is ass. This is ass to y'all. Like, it gets to a point where I really wonder, what is it that y'all want from these games? They are just committed to the grift, bro. It's insane. Remember how I said they will make up things to be mad at and then try to convince you to be mad at the thing they made up? Just listen to a clip of one of my favorite grifters.
That sounds like glorious shadow boxing, which is exactly what people like this do on Twitter. They will make up the perception of you. He's literally doing it right now. They will make up the perception of you in their mind and then convince themselves that they're actually fighting that person, when they just either don't sit down with that person, truly understand what they're talking about, truly understand the content, or they know what these people talk about. They know what they stand for, and they choose to misrepresent it because it's easier to do that. That way it gives them the justification to go fight them in their mind or on Twitter, or in this case, in a YouTube video.
The wonderful Vara Dark. Let me just play you a quick clip of something she said recently.
One thing that I thought was really weird about this trailer that I had said while I was live streaming the State of Play is the fact that 90% of the enemies that Wolverine is beating up are minorities. So I just have a very sneaking suspicion that it's going to be about his white privilege and him coming to terms with that and him trying to become a better man. I just have a feeling that that is not a coincidence.
Oh, Vara. My sweet, sweet angel. Are you smoking crack? This is how you know these people don't play or care about the games they're talking about at all. They just want to monetize off of your outrage. Why does it?
I don't understand why people keep saying that Vara Dark does not play video games. I don't understand how you can sit there and say that she doesn't play video games when it is easily available information. You could just literally click her channel and go through her playlist. I don't even have to defend her for you. She will literally, like, it's there. Like, I don't understand, my guy. It's not even like a secondary channel. You don't even have to do the bare minimum of looking for other channels. It's on the main channel. So it immediately makes your argument look disingenuous when you try to claim that the person that you're attacking doesn't play video games or doesn't play the games that they talk about, when she has actively played almost every video game that she has ever talked about. What the fuck, bro?
It looked like Wolverine's fighting a lot of minorities in the Wolverine game trailer. I don't know, man. Could it be that the game's not in fucking America? Dog, the game is set in Madripoor, a fictional country, not the United States. So if anything, Wolverine is the minority where he's at in that story. And guys,
perhaps she didn't know that information at the time when she reacted to the trailer. Perhaps she was just looking at the trailer. That I don't think it made it very evident that this was going to be permanently in that particular location. You know, it could bounce between different locations. Maybe there's one scene when he's there and another scene when he's elsewhere. We don't know. We don't know enough. But maybe at the time she had no idea about that. But you're clipping that and trying to make it seem as if she should absolutely know about everything about this game. Like, no, bro, it's a fucking trailer. We just make our assumptions based off what we see, and we talk about the things that are good, bad, and ugly.
These people do this with every game now. I just showed you them saying Mystique in the new Wolverine game ain't sexy enough for them. So that begs the question.
It's not even about being sexy. It's just being literally butt fucking ugly. Like, you have the ability to shapeshift, and you chose to be ugly. Like, bro, that's crazy.
What do they want these characters to look like? And of course, it was no other game than Ghost of Yotei to provide us an answer to this question.
Just an FYI, before this guy melts down about PlayStation, I want to make it very evident that his entire persona seems to be heavily targeted towards PlayStation. He has a YouTube banner that very clearly has multiple PlayStation mascots surrounding him, but that's how it seems. So I think he might be a PlayStation advocate, but based on the limited information that I have, that's all I can really go off of. Okay, here we go. Now he's going to fall for the Mr. Philip Chan obvious bait post and try to make it seem like this is, oh my god, bro, I can't believe he's falling for this.
Holy fuck, we cannot be serious. If Ghost of Yotei made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. Holy shit, I can smell the person who tweeted this from here. I mean this with all sincerity, bro. You cannot be dead ass. Bro, this game is set in the 1600s. I'm a gamer. I don't need my character to look like this shit. Nobody in the 1600s is looking like this, bro. Shit, nobody today is naturally looking like this. And I'm a gamer, bro. I'd much rather have my character look like this. Forget the yitties. Like, bro, corn is free. You feel me? If you're really trying to see all that, you know, hit the Google one time or hear me out. Even better, go talk to a woman in real life. I know, that's a...
Oh my god, bro. It's literally the same argument. It's crazy because I don't like to or want to use the term NPC, but this is literally NPC arguments. All he's doing is taking all the typical like anti-woker comments and anti-woker like arguments and tries to just literally say all of it in one video, which is insane. You're a grifter. You've never seen a woman in real life. This is the same like the IGN France article that tried to claim that the Stellar Blade creator has never seen a real woman or touched a real woman in real life because of the way they designed Eve. And meanwhile, his fucking wife is almost as hot as the Eve character. You got to be shitting me. It's the same arguments every single time. These guys are so filled with envy. It is unbelievable. And the projection is through the roof.
Crazy ass concept for some of y'all, but hear me out. That shit is way more rewarding. This is what gives gamers a bad rap, bro. I look at tweets like this, I just feel disappointment, bro. Like, this tweet really just describes everything in a nutshell, bro.
Disappointment over a joke tweet? They got 60 million views, an obvious bait post that worked, by the way. It completely worked. There was 60 million views and you guys fell for it. It's unbelievable.
was like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? And the real irony of this tweet, it came out October 8th. The caption reads, if Ghost of Yotei made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. The game came out October 2nd and sold 1 million copies the first day, which means...
So I like how I love this. This is beautiful, right? So he's saying that the game sold 1 million copies by the first day, and literally nobody, 0 people have ever confirmed that number. That started from a random rumor Twitter account that I reported on, and then was doubled down on by every single mainstream news outlet trying to claim that the game sold 1 million copies within 24 hours, and they were spreading around that information with zero validity whatsoever. Not even Circana said those numbers. Nobody said those numbers except for a random Twitter account, and this is the person that is trying to claim other people are grifters for whatever reason may be. Meanwhile, he is literally spreading misinformation right now based off of a tweet that was made by some random fucking account. Unbelievable.
By the time this dumbass tweeted this tweet, the game had already sold well over 1 million copies. Dumbass! This is why I tell y'all, bro, they don't care about these games at all. They just want to piss you off and then run up money off you talking shit underneath their tweet about the game. It makes no sense, bro. Y'all cannot be falling for this, bro, and y'all cannot genuinely convince these people to make you care about dumb shit like this. It doesn't.
I love it, man. This person, again, it always goes back to money. And he's bringing up Twitter as if Twitter money is anything to be happy about. My guy, there are tweets with 50, 60 million views on it. They make like $500. You're over here being negative in your own videos over on YouTube, and you're going to make way more than $500 on every single one of those negative videos that I pointed out earlier on in my video. Think about that. Guaranteed his Black Ops video is going to make him close to $1,000, anywhere between $700 to $1,000. And this particular video at 120, 130 some odd thousand views is probably going to make him about $500 or more. So automatically he's making more money than any of these Twitter people are making with their bait posts, and with like 1/100th of the views. It's not even close. But, you know, again, it's okay when he does it though. Don't forget that.
Doesn't matter. Like, bro, now they're coming after The Witcher 4. The Witcher series being one of the most beloved game franchises ever. What are they mad at this time? Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all take a quick guess. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. You ready? DEI makes everything worse. And it's just 2 pictures of the main character. At first, I just thought they were mad that this game has a female lead. But no. They're just mad that she's not hot enough for them. Again, crazy take. I know y'all don't talk to women in real life. She's ugly to y'all? And again, I have to stress this. Even if she is ugly to y'all, who gives a damn? This is not Concord, right? Concord was another story. Concord was a hero.
Well, just so you're aware, for me personally, I never had a problem with modern day Siri. I thought that it was a little bit weird at certain angles because I don't know if that was their cinematics or something. It was a little bit odd, but overall, I had no issues with Siri personally. So until further notice, I'm not going to have any issues with Siri personally. But again, anything can change because this is CD Projekt Red we're talking about.
Hero shooter, right? A hero shooter. Every character has a unique design, unique abilities. They have to incentivize you to play said characters. No one's going to spend money playing a hero shooter where none of the heroes look good at all. But a story mode,
that does not make fucking sense. There's no way you made this argument, bro. How did you destroy your own argument willingly? This is insanity. So you mean to tell me that hero shooters are in their own bubble where attractive characters actually matter, but then in other video games where you're role-playing the character and you're experiencing their world, their life, their view, whatever, that their attractiveness means absolutely nothing because you don't inherently pay for them in the game, but you pay for them when you buy the game? What are you talking about? So if an attractive character is inherently important to purchase a video game like a hero shooter, then clearly it would be inherently important to purchase another video game, and clearly will influence sales, even if it's slightly positively or majorly positively. Regardless, it's never going to de-influence sales. You're going to get sales the more attractive the character is. That's just obvious. That's not to say that other video games are not going to do successful with other ugly characters, but what I will say is that you're leaving money on the table. Everybody anybody with a brain will tell you that.
Game, something that follows a narrative with a lead character that's been with the franchise for what, over 20 years now? Like, what are we even talking? And when I tell you guys, I could go on all day finding stupid ass examples of shit like this dumb.
Anybody can. You're literally quoting Andy Pants, bro. Like, are you serious right now? You're quoting Andy Pants, the guy who would specifically misrepresent everything because he knows it works on Twitter. And you're full. You literally fell for like 90% bait posts over here in your video, and you're trying to make it the norm about the gaming conversation. Again, I don't know why he's doing this, and I think it's ultimately because he knows that there is such little benefit or little evidence to support his argument that he has to go to the extreme in order to find evidence to support his argument. So he's not going to find it going after regular old people talking about video games and whatnot who might have the same exact complaints as people like this supposedly have, but he'll go to the extreme. He'll go to Grums, he'll go to Andy Pans, he'll go to fucking Yorch Torch Games, Vara Dark. Again, I don't know why he went after her. She clearly plays video games, but he'll go after all these other people because he knows he's going to find the most extreme post possible and then utilize that to make his argument.
Matt said 13 million copies sold versus 1.3 million sold. Like I said, Ghost of Yotei is a flop. Dickhead! Ghost of Tsushima came out 5 years ago, gang. 5! If you think Ghost of Tsushima sold 13 million copies in its first day, let alone its first week, let alone its first month, let alone its first year, you're smoking dick. I believe the first year.
And the fact that you believed his post and fell for it means that you are, in fact, smoking
dick. Sales numbers of Ghost of Tsushima was around 6.5 million copies sold. How can you compare the sales numbers to a game that's been out for 5 years to a game that hasn't even been out for a full month? But this is my point. These people aren't this fucking dumb. They might be, but I just can't believe that they might be. But what they do know is that there's somebody dumb enough out there to agree with them and believe the shit they're saying. Not only that, but they also know there's people that know the truth. People that know they're bullshitting that are gonna go underneath their post and call them out. And guess what? Both groups of people give them money because all they need is the interaction. All they need is the engagement, and they're getting that.
Jesus Christ, man. This guy talks about money more than any of these like anti-wokers that I've ever seen in my life. This guy literally probably only thinks about money. And the fact that he has now had 2 videos blow up when all his other videos have completely flopped, aside from the ones where he's supposedly being negative, by the way, which is so funny. And keep in mind, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but on this video, you're able to see what is the most replayed sections of his video. And what do you know? The most replayed section of his video is, in fact, Mr. Philip Chan's big titty pose. So even on your own video, it proves that attractive characters will actually sell more because big titty pose from Mr. Philip Chan was the one that is most replayed on your channel. I gotta tell you guys, that is absolutely hilarious, by the way. So anyway, yeah, this guy is completely obsessed with money, and this is where the crux of the conversation comes from. A lot of these people who complain about this stuff, who like to attack YouTubers and claim that they're XYZ or whatever, they will do so and constantly bring up money because at the end of the day, they want the money, and they'll sit there and they'll lie to you and they'll tell you, no, it's not what it's about. I don't care about the success. I have integrity. I don't care about that. I don't want the money. I don't need the money. Blah. I have a real job. Blah. Whatever. Right? They'll say literally anything. Meanwhile, the funny thing is, the moment this video popped off, and it sure did, what was the next video he did? Another negative one, at least from a perception standpoint. And then what happened after that one? Another negative one. Black Ops 7, absolute trash. And what happened after that one? Another negative one. Yeah, I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
Hey, man, I'm not actually pissed. I just hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Why do you hate them? That's so weird. Does anybody find that weird? Like, why do you hate other YouTubers? Why do you hate other Twitter accounts, social media people? Like, why do you hate them? What did they do to you personally that made you hate them? That's the weirdest thing to me. I will never waste my energy hating on someone. Right here, I'm laughing at this video and reacting to it and calling out the bullshit that's in it. It's the same as every other video that's ever done about this subject. But ultimately, I don't hate him. I don't hate this guy. Why would you hate them?
We got this dude Grums over here talking about games being DEI, woke, he's not supporting Ghost of Yotei.
I already know that he is going to use the Grums didn't finish his game argument to try to downplay Grums participating in the social square. That's basically it. They don't like what Grums has to say, and sometimes, actually a lot of the times, I don't agree with what Grums says, which is why I don't quote tweet the stuff that he puts out there that I don't agree with. But ultimately, you know, it's always the same 2 things because he leaves himself open to it, right? He doesn't finish his game. He's got to finish his game. He scammed people, right? According to these people, he scammed people, didn't finish his game. And also, not only that, he's old. The people who claim to be about inclusivity and diversity and where looks don't matter, apparently being old matters. Like, once you hit a certain age threshold, you're not allowed to talk about things. Meanwhile, that's completely antithetical because as you get older, you usually get wiser. Maybe not in this case, but I'm just saying, like, normally you get older, you get wiser. So why would somebody being older inherently disqualifying them from having a conversation about video games that have been around for decades, longer than this person has been alive, I would guarantee you.
And games like that, for fuck's sake, man. Like, bro, this dude is a 60-something-year-old man. Hang up the jersey, Unk. It's over. You do a lot of yapping about games you don't like for a guy that still hasn't put out the game he was supposed to put out. Yes, this 60-something-year-old man got money out of the people that supported him. He raised money to make a game and never released it. So you're talking about all these games that are woke and DEI and shit, dog. At least they came out. Seems to me you need to be spending a little bit less time on Twitter and a little bit more time getting to work with your bitch ass. Ghost of Yote might be woke. It might have a woman protagonist. At least it didn't fucking scam me. If a game is ass, I will be the first one to tell you. But criticize the game off real criticism points.
Why do I not believe that? Why do I not believe that if a game is ass, he's going to be the first one to tell you? Why do I not believe that? Again, every single point that he made about Grums, I already knew he was going to make about Grums ahead of time. It's so obvious. These guys always make the same exact arguments because it's true. That's just flat out what it is. They're true arguments and they need to be addressed. But ultimately, it's always the same thing. It's never about what he's saying. It's about what he didn't do. That's basically it.
Why are we immediately acting like a game is dead on arrival because it has a woman main character? Dog.
Nobody says that, and that is devaluing the conversation. That is purposely misrepresented the conversation. Again, I remind you, if this is true, why did Stellar Blade become the #1 PlayStation exclusive launch on Steam out of every other game from PlayStation that has released on Steam? Why is that? It's a female protagonist. You're talking from a blanket statement. You're talking in absolutes. So if people didn't like female main leads, then it doesn't matter whether their titties are big, small, ugly. It doesn't matter. Female lead would be an automatic disqualification for these people you are claiming to know everything about. So the moment there was a successful female lead recently, and there's been a lot of them, why do you suddenly not want to address that? Why do you not want to? Why? Oh, it's a Gooner game. Oh, now it's about something totally different other than being a female lead. Now it has to be hot female lead or ugly female lead. And before you know it, the entire argument unravels because truthfully, you know and I know that it has nothing to do with that. That it has to do with other nuanced parts of the conversations that you don't want to talk about and you try to simplify so that your argument seems to have more water.
You stink. I can smell you. These people don't care about
Says the guy complaining about grifters and negative content, and meanwhile, it's all over your YouTube channel.
you. They don't care about video games. They care about money. And all they want to do is make you mad so they can make money off your reaction. If you
Projection, maximum levels of projection, my guy. You have a bunch of negative videos over the last month or two plus on your YouTube channel. You barely upload, so it's pretty obvious that most of the content, at least recently anyway, could be perceived as negative content under your own definition. And meanwhile, you're allowed to make money on that? But other people can't, right? It's just not allowed. They're grifters at that point.
find yourself agreeing with the way these people think at all, I implore you, please look inward. Find Jesus. It's in such bad taste, and a lot of it is just lies and bullshit. And also, one thing I want to say to my young men, fellas, just because it's coming from a woman, you feel me, doesn't mean the shit's true. I know some of y'all are hearing it come from a woman, and in your brain you're going, oh my gosh, she feels the same way I do. I knew I wasn't sexist. I just hate when bitches are in my game. No, bro. I don't know, man.
This guy's a fucking joke, bro. Like, I'm trying to take it serious. I really am. But he has a particular hard-on for Vara Dark for whatever that reason may be. And now, because she's a woman, you can't inherently agree with her, which, again, I fully stand by. But I don't think anybody ever said that that was the case. I don't think anybody, like, what are we genuinely doing here?
And I just think we're in a really weird time. It seems like nobody wants to be happy about shit these days. Game
Says the guy with literal negative content all over his YouTube channel. What are you talking about? People don't want to be happy these days. My guy, you got trash, flop, all over your YouTube channel. What are you talking about?
comes out with a normal ass looking woman, DEI game, woke slop. Game comes out with a more fan servicey type of art style, Gooner game. This shit is Gooner slop. What happened to the hobby I love, bro? I'm just trying to play some good games, bro. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Now,
That's not true. That's literally not true for everybody to see. And by the way, you said you love Ghosts of Yote so much and that it was the most amazing thing ever. You even put in all caps, I love this game, in your description for Ghosts of Yote, and yet you only made it to part 5 in the stream? You didn't beat the game for everybody to see live? You ended up abandoning the game to go play Dispatch that you're currently playing right now? So you ended up playing Ghosts of Yote on release and then you abandoned it over the last month and you stopped at part 5. Why is that? I thought you loved the game.
not every game is perfect, and bad games do deserve to be criticized. Trust me. Trust me. But lying and making up false things
If somebody keeps saying trust me nonstop like that, you shouldn't trust them.
to be angry about just so you can get paid a little bit of extra money, That shit's loser activity, bro. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what y'all think. More videos.
Loser activity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you what exactly is loser activity. Loser activity is downplaying other people's opinions because you don't agree with them, claiming that they are grifters because it goes against whatever your particular ideology around gaming has to be, and you think that for some reason you are the arbiter of what is allowed and not allowed in the gaming sphere in terms of conversation surrounding the video games. It really is unfortunate. You know, like I said from the beginning, I think opinions like this should be allowed to exist overall. But if you're going to have these opinions, they need to be able to stand up against what you're claiming, and they just never do. They almost never do. It's one of those things where they'll look back in your history, they'll look back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and see you have a change of opinion, and then call you a grifter because you changed your mind. These people want to lock you in to a particular mindset, and you're never allowed to change it ever. And the moment you do, boom, you're a grifter. You can't just admit you were wrong about something. It really is hilarious, man. The most supposed nuanced people out there absolutely want zero nuance whatsoever in this conversation around gaming. So again, ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, just another example of somebody who believes that grifters are ruining gaming, but they never want to hold the actual companies accountable. They never want to actually look at the companies and say, no, I think you're the problem. The developers, what you're doing, I think you're the problem. The writers, especially, I think you're the problem. No, that apparently is ruining gaming discourse. And to be fair, there are trolls out there, and there are some arguments he made that I absolutely agree with, and I'll be the first one to say that. However, you're taking the trolls and you're trying to make them the norm, and that's just not fair. That's not fair at all to the entire conversation, and you're doing that because you want your ideology to be on top, and right now, to be quite frank, it's all the way at the bottom, and the numbers prove it. So you guys let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this video? Do all the good YouTube algorithm stuff, like, comment, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.